Hi folks, with the holiday season, a lot of folks like to do like a holiday one-shot, and we've done a video about that before, or do a like special session within a larger campaign. But sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to create a like in-game holiday without it just feeling like fantasy Christmas. So today I'm going to give you some advice on how to create those festivities and traditions in your world. In this video, sponsored by Brass Dragon Bistro. So the first place that I look when I'm trying to create like a holiday festival or something like that is real world traditions. Like, draw from what you know. You know, feasts by the fire, gifts exchange, even like the older traditions around Christmas of like telling ghost stories can all be things that you can draw from to create your own festival. You know, and like, for instance, there are many different cultures that hold some kind of holiday tradition around some of the darkest parts of the year. So perhaps that's something that you can draw from in your world. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a winter solstice or a Christmas or Hanukkah, but something that like acknowledges the season of the year. That can be a winter thing, or it can also be spring, summer, fall, whatever season that you kind of find yourself in that you want to be creating these traditions in. Now, translate that into your game. Maybe there's a night of lanterns in your fantasy city where everyone lights a lantern and lets it float down the river, or it's one of those like floating lanterns that light up the nighttime sky as a reminder that the lights are still on. Or perhaps the dwarves have a feast of the first ember to kind of celebrate like the first time that the dwarven mine, like the smith, that's the word I'm looking for. The first time that the ember sparked within the dwarven smith's fire. To help reinforce like that tradition, you can give the players tokens. Now, whether that's you give them like physical tokens at the table, or it's more of a like in character, they get a token for whatever festival that is. It could be something that maybe provides a little bit of a boon for them, or it could just be a mundane token. You can also encourage gift giving. If the festivity that you're creating involves some kind of gift giving, let your players know, hey, this is coming up, and provide them with opportunities to give gifts to each other. That can create some really fun role play moments, and like character building things within the party. Perhaps it's a really great opportunity to have some like party cohesion, or moments where like if two party members have been maybe not getting along so well, they can kind of like have this nice like gift exchange and put aside their differences. Okay, now once you get down to the nitty-gritty of like designing the in-world holiday, first of all, you need a name. What is the name of the festivity? And it should have something to do, like, I find the names that are a little bit like kind of self-explanatory or are clearly named after like what the festival is about to be very useful. You may go a different route, and perhaps it's like a specific word or something like that that has a greater meaning. I think it's really great to tie whatever festival it is to some kind of mythology within the world. Perhaps there's a specific god that's tied to that holiday. As I mentioned before, maybe it's something to do with a particular culture in the world, significant, you know, like creation story or something like that. Or just you also can have like feasts and stuff like that to mark like harvests or the beginning of spring and the end of winter, and yes, the time of plenty, so let's use up the rest of our winter stores as we go into the spring when we'll have lots and lots of food to refill it. That can also be something that like maybe there's a less of a myth and god connected to it, and it's more of a like cultural aspect, but there's some kind of story behind the festival. This holiday season, give a gift that's more than sweet, it's magical. Behold Brass Dragon Bistro's Cosmic Caramel's Magnificent Mocha. Rich, creamy mocha engulfed in buttery caramel. It's a warm, cozy flavor that feels like a hearthside spell. Perfect for after your adventures, during your sessions, or tucked into a gift for your DM or game group. Each caramel comes with a magic item card, so your snack can be part of your game. Sustainably crafted, ethically made, with biodegradable packaging and handcrafted flavor. This year, give something unexpected, magical, delicious. Perfect for any adventurer. Order your magnificent mocha cosmic caramels now at brassdragonbistro.com. Make your holiday quests a little sweeter. Have traditions and activities. So, like as I said before, perhaps it's lighting lanterns and they float down the river. Maybe there's a gift exchange. Perhaps there's a traditional like snow sculpture competition. I think having these activities, marks the holiday, and unique things like in our actual in-world holidays, like there's stuff like gift giving, or you make cookies and do a cookie exchange. There are those activities that kind of signal the holiday, but also those activities then provide great opportunities for like little mini games or opportunities for a like little adventure prompt. More on that in a moment. What is the food and atmosphere? I looking at like our holidays, almost every single holiday has some food connected to it. So what is the specific food that is served on that holiday? This provides some really great like sensory things that you can use to help describe like the scent of the roasted nuts that are crackling over the fire, or the taste and like feel of a mug of warm hot chocolate, or your fantasy equivalent of whatever chocolate is in that world. Those are things that make the world feel a lot more like real and solid to the players. And it's also things that like they can draw on from their own experiences and bring that to their characters. Also, like, what is the atmosphere of the holiday? Is it a big festivity where everybody is loud and boisterous and like over the top? Is it something that's a lot more of a introverted, perhaps a time for inner reflection? So there's a lot more thoughtfulness and quiet that kind of falls over the town or wherever it is that this festivity takes place. Like, that's another thing that you can draw from, and it will help kind of craft how that holiday is celebrated. Like I said before, think about adventure hooks. Like, not only can this be you could do it just as a like fair or festival where there are like some fun little mini games, but I think having some unique adventure hooks to the festival can be really great. Maybe all of the lanterns were stolen and you are tasked with going and recovering them, or they go to light the fire to signify the first ember burning, and no one can light a fire, so you have to figure out like why has the fire disappeared. There can be these fun adventure prompts within this holiday session. So while you're structuring this section, I think it's good to kind of maybe break it down into kind of 4 phases. So phase 1 is set up the festival, set up the atmosphere, and it can be literally the festival is getting set up, but it can be the introduction. Perhaps the travelers are just arriving into town and the festival is underway, and it can be their introduction to what is this holiday, all of those kind of groundwork things. Then you have phase 2. There's some kind of mystery or conflict. This is where you kind of introduce the adventure plot. Like, oh no, they went to go light the lanterns and discover the basket that contains them is empty. They go to have the ceremony of like viewing the ember and it's gone. Whatever it is, introduce like, here's the adventure hook. Players now take the hook. Phase 3 is the holiday specific task. So this is kind of the adventure, and this is probably going to take up most of the session. So, they go and search down the lanterns, or maybe they have to stop some mischievous fae from ruining the festival. Whatever it is, this is going to be the largest bit, and this is going to lead into a lot more of your kind of traditional structure as far as like running the game and running adventures. And then phase 4, the climax and celebration. So they succeed at what they're doing. Or hey, maybe they fail and now it's the fallout of like, well, what happens? Hopefully they succeed. I tend to try and like holiday one-shots make it so that the players are going to succeed in one way or the other. That's just my preference. Like, I like everybody to leave feeling good and happy and not like, oh no, we ruined the holiday. But yes, like, they succeed, and then you get into the actual, like, celebration, and can have, like, the gift exchanges and enjoying the food and lighting the lanterns, all of those things. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and head on over to patreon.com/rollforinitiative and check out the perks of being a patron. A special thanks to all of our patrons, especially Alicia. A few themes you might want to embrace. I find sometimes crafting a holiday with a specific theme in mind can be very helpful and maybe a way to differentiate it from our like real world holidays by perhaps combining a theme from one like mundane holiday with another holiday. So the first being giving, embracing being together with the people you love and giving gifts or giving something, even if it's not gifts, maybe it's giving, everybody gets a compliment, everybody gets a handwritten letter. But that like celebrating the people around you, the people in your life that matter the most. Another theme can be reflection and transition. So this is something that you might think of like a lot of traditional like winter solstice type holidays. Another theme is reflection and transition. So this is something that's going to be a little bit more like pointed inward and looking at like what, like reflecting on what have I accomplished this last year? What would I like to do moving into the future? Like perhaps maybe some like New Year's Eve type vibes, but this you could very easily combine into a different seasonal holiday. Plenty or scarcity is another theme that you might explore. Perhaps it's a feast to celebrate the bountiful harvest, or a festival that celebrates getting through the tough times and celebrates we did it, we didn't have much, but we are now at the point where things are moving back into the bountiful. That's another kind of tradition that you see in some holidays. And then also just themes around specific gods or belief systems within that fantasy world. You can get a lot of hints for themes there. All right, there you go. Those are my tips for how to build a holiday and festival or whatever term it is that you want to have, but how to create that for a ongoing campaign, a kind of special session that you can run, or maybe a couple sessions depending on how frequently you meet. But I think it is fun as we move into kind of the season of winter holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate, to have some kind of celebration within the game that you are playing. It can be nice for the players. It also provides a lot of opportunity for those like out of game or celebrations of that holiday with the people you game with. And we've done videos talking about like how to set up the like physical space table for a holiday session or how to run a holiday one-shot. And I'll make sure those videos are linked below and try and put a card up here as well. So have you run a holiday session in an ongoing campaign? Have you crafted an entire holiday? I would love to know how it went for you. Did you learn anything as you did it that you could share in the comments with other people? So, you know, we can learn from each other's mistakes or successes and just have a lot of fun around the table. Wishing you a happy holidays, and I'll see you next time on Roll for Initiative. Bye!